Well, so we meet again. What kind of surprises are you hiding inside of that aluminum skin? Let's go find out. Today, we're going to be tearing down the engine on our 2002 Honda TRX400EX. But let's do a quick compression test because I'm just curious. Does it have anything left? I think it was running a little rich. Good grief. All right, before I spin this thing over, I've drained the oil out of it already, but I'm sure that it still has a little bit left in the oil pump and it's gonna spit it out that way. So let me cover up those two ports here and minimize the mess. And I think you have to put it into bypass for this to work. Find out in a second. I always jump when it starts or spins it over. Let's see what she's got. All right, that should be enough. Wow, more than I thought. That looks like right at 190. If you were watching when we did the teardown on this one, it basically didn't have an air filter. So I'm very surprised that it has that much compression, but at least we know what we're dealing with, potentially. I think when we open it up, there's gonna be a lot of oil in there, and that's what's allowing it to seal up. It's time to dive into this beast and see what's hiding in there. Been full of surprises so far. And I can go ahead and tell you just by looking at the top of it, I see at least 3 different type bolts holding it together. So I think that trend's gonna, unfortunately, continue as we see what lurks within. And I did find it curious that they added a manual tensioner. Usually when you do that, that means you've put in aftermarket stuff, you know, higher compression piston, different cam, etc., etc. But I don't know yet, but we will see here shortly. Can't wait to look inside. I swear I think that stud just came up. Let's see if she'll pop off now. Don't recognize those valves. And that chain is not in great shape. I'm not exactly sure what happened here, but that is not right. That dowel looks like they just mushroomed it on the backside. I'm not even sure how you do that, but they did, that's for certain. That is what I would call abnormal. Yeah, just hit it with a mallet. It'll be okay. I really do feel sorry for this one, but guess what? We're gonna make it okay. There was no torque on that one. I mean, we're talking less than 10 pounds on those. I don't remember off the top of my head what the torque value is, but I'm pretty sure it's more than 10. I'm not sure what's going on over there, but it looks like they put a washer on the bottom side of it. That may be the oil passageway one, but I don't have an answer for that one yet. Definitely aftermarket. It was on its way to getting dusted, but I'm betting that this build is fairly new. It was just done like crap. You can see where it was getting scuffed pretty hard in there. I'm betting this was probably a big bore. Yes, somebody bored this one all the way out. 89, I think stock is what, 85 or something like that? There's no straightening this back up. And I'm pretty sure 89 is as far as you can bore this. And if memory serves, that makes it into a 440. 426, 440, I can't remember. I think what we're going to do here is go back with stock bore and just increase our compression ratio. I think the stock ratio is like 9.5 to 1. We're going to take it to 11 to 1 or 11.5 to 1, somewhere in that neighborhood. But no, look at your thickness there. There's no meat left on the bone to do anything with that. Now the crankshaft main bearing, we'll measure it, but It shouldn't move this much. This thing had to be making a racket. I'm not thrilled with that at all. Whew. So my question was, are we going to have to go all the way down? Maybe find out where those little niblets came from when we drain the oil? Yeah, we're going to have to take this one all the way down. So let's get that piston out of the way and keep digging. This one didn't seal up very well. See how there's still a bunch of carbon below the compression ring, in between it and the oil ring. If it was really sealing up, that wouldn't be there. Chances are they probably didn't gap it correctly, at least. So much of this is going in the trash can. Yeah, I had a feeling somebody did a big bore kit on this one. Somebody's been playing in there. Sam helped my boy put a 440 kit on his 400EX. Did it like crap. I would imagine there were several beers consumed while this thing was assembled. More, yeah, bring me whatever you got in the toolbox. So we have a Torx there and a 10 millimeter on the other side. Yeah. Get her done. You poor, poor, pitiful machine. We kind of finished on this side? I think so. Since we're here, we'll go ahead and buzz off all these crankcase bolts. Now, was there ever any doubt that I was going to have to split the cases on this one? Probably not. They did a great job of gluing this on. You just go ahead and barf all over the table. Yeah, you don't need a new gasket. Just give me some RTV. It'll be okay. There's an old one, and yeah, I know Hondas are notorious for being difficult to take off these green gaskets, but they decided to just circumvent that, get out some RTV, and went to town. Well, the clutch wasn't that old. It wasn't broken in yet. I'm telling you, somebody did a rebuild on this, put about 20 miles on it, and then it stopped for a variety of possible reasons. I mean, there's so many. Chances are it was electrical, though. Fortunately, we're replacing all of that, so they've got something in here wrong. So honestly, I do not need to pay attention at this point because it's not right. Funny thing is that looks like a new but aftermarket chain tensioner guide. Probably came from the same place where that chain tensioner came from. All right, what else we got here? Well, this could be interesting. Is this a screen? Yeah, ooh, there you go. This is what I had a feeling was gonna be in here. Nice little layer of metal. And where that came from, probably on the other side of that wall. And it is ferrous metal. All right, and have you a little RTV while you're at it. So, you want to see more of this same content? Why don't you go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell. All right, kids, this is as far as we can go with it on the stand. Let's get this off of the engine stand, lay it down on its side, pull those last two bolts, then let's split the cases. Okay, let's see if we can knock this thing apart. I'm thinking we're about to get the case splitter. I don't think I've used this since the 450. It's been a little while. There we go. I don't think any amount of hammering was gonna pop that loose, not without destroying the cases. Now, no matter what, don't ever use a screwdriver to pry the cases open. Gentle persuasion. This little tool is worth its weight in gold. I think it was the 450 we had such a hard time because the dowel was rusted. It involved this splitter, a hammer, and a torch. I'm not seeing our metal yet. or I should say our metal source, yet. That gear looks a little rough. This outer edge, I'm not sure if it's supposed to look like this or not. There we go. Let's go and get the shift forks and the rest of the transmission out. I really didn't expect the transmission to look this good, to tell you the truth. Figured it was going to match the rest of the unit. Yeah, I think I just found it. Look at the teeth there. See how that looks darker? I'm thinking that's where our machine work came from. We'll bring in a new gear and see what it looks like. Maybe. Oh, that's why she was being so difficult. That's the output shaft. And it had a little bit of dirt on the outside. But everybody else looks to be in a good color except for that one. I mean, it just looks like it's been abused. Chances are it's probably second gear. And look at the pitting on the inside of that. Then there was you. What is your problem? I should have guessed. Of course, it's the shift shaft, John. And I guarantee it's bent. That's why it doesn't want to pull through. That's going to be bent. I said I ordered all the parts I needed for this. Wrong. Okay. It's bringing the bearing with it. That's all right. Now, this shift shaft. Ooh. Where does that belong? Now, we didn't need to open up this bottom end, did we, Trace? For it to be in here, I mean, it's aluminum, I would have guessed clutch, but the clutch is not in here, it's out there. Did it find its way in? This is going to be the Where's Waldo part, finding this guy. Where did you get sheared off from? That's the question. All right, let's see if we can get this to finish tapping out. You should not have to tap on one this hard to get it out. Lord, you poor abused machine. Yeah, I don't think we're going to put that particular piece back in. I love my job. So what's next? Knock out all these bearings, seals, a lot of cleaning, a lot of scraping, blast cabinet, and then we're going to Cerakote everything. So let me get busy knocking out these bearings and seals, and I can start that process, and we will see you in the next video.